Hey guys, Carlos Perez here, and I want to do a quick video on a project that I'm working on. I had to get some water, excuse me. This project is called CupidsLogic, and what CupidsLogic does is it will take two people, they do their individual compatibility test, and based on how they rank after the test is done, it will take those answers, those two people, and it will simulate what they would go through in a 36-month period. So you're basically will come here, you would go through, you would read through. This is like a basic letter to yourself. We're doing this because some people need that motivation to go forward and actually do this kind of thing. Most people would stay in a bad situation rather than, get out of it. This is going to help you and stop you from wasting a lot of time. A lot of time. So our key slogan thing is, you're not bad at relationships, you've just been flying blind. A lot of you get in relationships and you see the problems, you see the issues, but you overlook it. Maybe he'll change, maybe she'll act different, maybe. And you guys kind of stay in this bad relationship based on that. So how it works is you both answer the questions, you get an engine score. With this score, we have 347 agents that basically go through a simulation for everything. I'm going to show you an example of how that works. Then based on the ocean amplifiers, the cascade chains, the emergence clusters, like all this mathematics that basically takes the two individual people and puts them across all these situations for an extended amount of time. And that's everything from meeting the family, having kids, getting pregnant, losing a job, everything. So the four pillars, which basically we built this on, has a ton of research. So we have the Big Five Ocean, the Gottman Method, the attachment theory, and love languages. Everybody basically has a way that they feel loved, and they have a way that things need to be done so they feel safe and secure. These four tests combined is a hybrid that gives you the most accurate personality type imaginable right now. Add to that with our agents, our PRISM, there's nothing else like this in the market. And these are the warning signs, basically destroying your relationships, being too anxious, avoiding attachments. And you can come here and you can read through these things. These are the sections that everything covers basically in there. The conflict forecast is very powerful. Strategic guidance. If you actually decide you want to work through these relationship problems, it kind of takes you through. We're also going to be building out a coach, which the coach will basically be your wingman and will remind you of different things. It will make the phone calls, reservations, buy gifts, like everything that your partner needs to make it a a safe relationship that they can grow with. And it's kind of a mandatory thing nowadays. So as you can see, everything is here. Now we're having a special deal. It's $297, but if you use the code founder75, you get it for $97. When the report is finished, it's going to look like this. So it'll have you and your partner's name, the compatibility analysis, the date you took it. It will give you everything that was analyzed, the science behind it. Now, this part right here gives you a complete breakdown. So this is the dimension breakdown. So the personality dynamics, the attachment interactions, connection style, structure compatibility, and conflict forecast. Right now, these two people, this imaginary couple, they ranked really low. So they need a lot of alignment. So as you can see here, Buford and Lori, Buford, his ocean profile and his numbers, he's halfway open to openness. He's just above extrovert. Agreeableness, he's agreeable in a lot of situations. And in Lori, same thing, it gives her a score. Now this probability model right here, Basically, it gives you an output on if the relationship can last these certain milestones, 6 months, 12 months, 36 months. This basically tells you with the friction currently that these simulated agents, simulated couples go through, these are the probabilities of it not lasting. Again, we go in here, we get the relationship network. So we see the critical things, contempt expressions, criticism frequency score, weaponized vulnerability. These are all the things. These are critical. These are things that taking into a relationship can cause it to end. Um, Protest behavior escalation. That's a 10 out of 10, so that's a high risk. These were positive though. They had a lot of positive things. So bids for connection, the Gottman love map, death, apology, authentication, like all this stuff down here is all the positive stuff that came about through taking the compatibility test and seeing. And this right down here, now this is where we get into the score. So their bonding score was a 36 out of 100. Relationship, is in critical intervention zone. It needs help, needs a lot of help. And these are the things that it will be good to actually work on. And it's basic stuff. Eye rolling, superiority displays are active. Just things that pick at a relationship. And as you can see, there's all of this down here. Personality dynamics, how they rate, the household management conflicts, financial planning gaps. So someone can want to save, someone can want to spend. It covers everything that you can possibly be going through. And it tells you how much friction is going to be involved. The attachment interaction map, how anxious, how open are you, to, the physicalness, the mental attachments being together. You can see where partner A withdraws slightly, it has a drinking behavior, emotional unavailability. Partner B perceive threats immediately. So they see that as a threat. Maybe someone in her family was a drinker, things like that. And it tells you both of them together again, and it covers everything: structural conflict. The active agent analysis is where it really gets into everything. So the category breakdown, communication patterns, they had to deploy 20 agents. So there's 20 simulations, 20 simulated, he and her, Buford's and Laurie's, that are going to be deployed to go through this. The Gottman Four Horsemen, 9 agents there. The attachment security, 16 agents. Trust dynamics, which they both had, trust dynamics, 14 agents. So agents are simulated people that basically fall under each one of you and how it would respond to a lot of things. So we have the resilience factor, power dynamics, love language alignments, everything is in here. And the things that are critical, those are the ones that they're going to deploy the bots with. And again, this is all mathematically computed to basically, like I said, there's nothing more accurate ever created than this right here. Taking the 4 most popular ways of identifying relationships, love, compatibility, and then we put them in with our own agents that we run through the simulations. So once you have all of that, and the couple simulation art, the ideal partner profile, it'll kind of break down like, who your ideal partner or who the ideal person you're looking for would be if you're deciding not to work on this. As you can see, there's a lot of things that require work with Laurie and Buford, but this now in advance. You're not waiting to find this out. And after you get all of that, this is where all the information falls into play now. So this is the simulation intelligence. There's 340 agents. For Laurie and Buford, you remember when we showed you that section back here with the agents. So with this, It showed you the different agents that were deployed, 29, 16, and so forth. These are the agents here. So out of 347 agents, 143 active agents had to be deployed for the negative things that they were finding, and then 135 positive. And the bond score increased based off of the activity of these two agents happening. And this covers everything. Look, guys, the four horsemen, the emotional regulation, communication conflict, sexual compatibility. With sexual compatibility, that's a problem for people. And look, for this couple, it's a huge problem. It weighs 10 out of 10. So you can see the physical attraction trajectory. We have some issues there. One person may not like the person gains a little bit more weight if they cut their hair or whatever. But under the sexual compatibility, the 16 agents that launched, this covers everything from post-child intimacy adaptation, aging and physical change, which wasn't a big thing, pornography addiction, sacred sexual alignment, sexual withholding as a weapon. Like this basically will show things you're going to go through in almost everything. Trust, life goals, financial dynamics. This is a complete simulation of a couple going back and forth with the sexual consent culture. How do we handle this? It's going back and forth with it. And at the end of this, how much work you have to put in if this relationship is going to make it. And it's not that bad when you run the simulation. With this simulation, highlighting the things you should work on, you can see that there's only a 9% chance that you guys will break up in 6 months, 14% chance in 12, and 25% chance in 36 months. So it's very low, but it requires you working on all of these things in the score, and then all these simulations. And guys, when I tell you every simulation imaginable is in here, I mean, we can go through, conflict resolution, love language alignment. Are we aligned? Yes. Words of affirmation, we're a match here. Acts of service alignment, we're a match there. Physical touch. So they both like to be touched and held, and they like to hear positive affirmation. So there's a lot of positive in this too. It's not all negative. But when it gets down into the negative stuff, when it gets down into the values as far as religion, the ambition value gap, which they don't have an issue with, but if there was a problem, one person might want, more of a glamorous lifestyle, and they have this ambition that keeps them working constantly for it, and that's going to be an issue. Growth orientations. They learn from conflict. See, these are those active things that the simulated couple went through, and it basically confirmed that, you guys are a match as far as this. You see yourself in the future being happy. You see yourself together. Like there's all this positive stuff. We have the external stressors in this thing. Guys, this even covers the neurodivergence. This is good too. But this actually covers, and this is like the ADHD relationship impact. If someone has something, if someone's on the spectrum, like everything, spiritual and existential, even with family, the family system, like it covers that. You'd be surprised. Well, here there's two active things in the family, and they both have a chosen family integration. So they welcome people into their family, and they have a secure attachment parenting. So see, there's positive that if you work on, it strengthens it so that now you understand who you're dealing with. You're not just dealing with a person that you met, you're dealing with everything they've been through in life, all their hurt, all their trauma, their beliefs, everything. And this helps bring all that out into a report so you can easily identify the areas that you would have to work on if you're going to stay together. And you can break it down if you only wanted to deal with the active only, the ones that were critical, only the ones that were high and positive. So it breaks everything down in a way that allows you to attack those issues and to start making some real movement towards fixing the relationship before it's broken. So guys, that's what CupidsLogic is. This is a custom simulated intelligent engine that we've developed. There is nothing else like this anywhere on the market. The reports are only going to be $97 for the founders. So again, when you go in, it shows $297, but you put in the founders 75, that gives you the discount and it locks you in. And when we have the coach, the wingman, that's going to be even better because again, if you're in a relationship where someone likes to be text, 3 times a day and told that you love them, then your wingman is going to put that text out, notify you, hey, send this text now, send it later. It will keep you in the loop so you're always aware of what you're doing. But at the end of the day, your mate just knows that they got the text and they know you're working on it because you had to approve to send that text. No matter how busy you were, you did stop to approve it. And eventually it becomes a habit, becomes easier, and you start doing these things on your own without the need of a coach. So guys, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, Carlos Perez, 760-422-3052. In the meantime, go through the site, explore it. Do the letter, guys. The letter is free. Send that letter to yourself just so you can understand why you're going to do this, why you actually want this. You know, it doesn't cost anything for the letter. You basically select your age range, relationship status, your biggest struggle, anything that you want to know. And that letter is written straight to you to deal with whatever you may be feeling at the time, getting into your soul. So even if you just use the letter as words of strengthening for yourself, just get some more insight into the things that you may be allowing or the things you desire. This is healthy. This is healthy. This is you letting you know that you're okay. So guys, thank you for this time. And I really hope that you give me the opportunity, you give CupidsLogic the opportunity to help guide you into a safer, more secure, better relationship.